RockEyez would like to welcome Seann Nicols. Hey, man, what's up? What's going on, man?
Oh, man, just another beautiful sunny day out here in California.
Oh, yeah, thanks a lot.
I hear you've got some weather issues over there on the East Coast.
Yeah, a little bit of a hurricane coming our way, so, we could live through it. We lived through worse, so, we had this thing, Sandy, a couple of years ago, which was really bad, but nothing like that, So tell me a little bit about Westfield Massacre. When the band first started, a little bit about the background.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I joined the band in 2017, and I had heard that they were looking for a singer. I guess their original singer, Tommy Vext, had left to go sing with another band called Bad Wolves, and I was looking for something, to do, and I heard their music, and I was, blown away. It was modern, it was heavy, and it was awesome, and so I just started working with the music, and I recorded my vocals over their tracks and sent it back to them, and then they dug it, and then we started getting together, and we worked on a song together, and it was just clicking. So they said, hey, we've got this tour booked. It's a North American tour, and I said, well, let's do it. And so we went on the tour, came back, and started making a record, and it's been a little over a year now since that all happened, and now we've got the new album Salvation coming out on October 26th, and we're really excited. We've put out a few singles, and we got a couple music videos out that are doing really well on YouTube, and we're looking at some touring opportunities coming up in 2019. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess there is a deeper history. The band, when it was originally formed, I guess Tommy had been in a band called Divine Heresy, and then he started Westfield Massacre as Divine Heresy 2.0, which is exactly what it was. It was like Divine Heresy, but not,
Yeah.
And then they put out the first record, which is just a self-titled Westfield Massacre, and that record did pretty well, from what I understand, on Urban Yeti Records, hit Billboard, and had some chart action and stuff, and then just things happen. So Tommy went off to Bad Wolves, and obviously they've done really well with their cover of Zombie and their new album on 11/7, and we're putting our record out on our own label, Nerve Strike Records, and it's just, I think it's all good because you end up with two really great bands that came out of the whole situation, so it all worked out.
Right. Now, the reason why I originally contacted you, because I saw the video for Your Salvation, which I loved, and that's the reason why I basically, contacted you for the interview and stuff like that, because I really enjoyed that video, and then I went to a little bit deeper history of the band and stuff like that, and, you sent me over the tracks for the new album, and it's pretty diverse. I think the first song was like an instrumental. And, it really was interesting to listen to the different stages of the songs, one after another and stuff like that. Was any of the songs difficult to record?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, thanks for taking the time to listen to the whole album. We really we made it a point to make a record, that you could just put on and listen to it from beginning to end, and it actually takes you through an experience. It's not just like a collection of singles that are trying to hit different aspects of the market. Right. It's like a real band and a real album, the way that the albums that inspired us to be musicians in the first place,
right,
hit us. So awesome, man. I'm glad that you got a chance to actually listen to the whole thing. That was our goal, And you had mentioned the original track, the first track, Imperial Light, which is the instrumental that starts the album out.
Right.
And that was, it's interesting because we made that track at the very end. We had finished mixing the album, and our mixing engineer and mastering engineer, Rich Mauser, is an incredible guitar player and musician, and he actually composed that track for us to, introduce the record, and it was designed to be like an ode to the classical roots of the heavy metal that we play.
Right.
So it's It's all acoustic and classical instrumentation, but it's in my opinion, it's just as heavy as when you start adding all the distortion and all the intense instrumentation. You know, it's the stripped down version. You know, like the archaic version of what we're doing on the rest of the album. But in terms of difficulties, it actually was an interesting thing because the guys had done some pre-production on their own before I had joined the band to develop a lot of the tracks, the music and stuff. And they had originally started working with Tommy Vext to kind of, you know, bring those songs to completion. And then when Tommy left, we went back to the drawing board and re-envisioned the entire album with my vocals. We wrote all new songs, all new lyrics and melodies, and we more or less we completed, I think it was like a song a week was about our stride. And in terms of difficulty, I think Your Salvation was probably the hardest song to write on that one because it does deal with opioid addiction and the death of friends and family. My bass player, Eric, he had recently lost like his closest friend to a heroin overdose. And, you know, this was a song that he had been working on and, you know, kind of like a tribute to his friend, you know, and it's just kind of crazy. It's bringing back some emotions for me right now while I'm talking about it because, I mean, my dad had passed away just about 6 weeks earlier, and my dad had complications that arose, you know, surrounding like opioid and heroin use as well. Like my dad is an old school record producer back from the 80s, you know, worked with a lot of the bands back in the day. Guys that you've interviewed actually, like Dio. James Dio is a you know, an artist that he worked with back in the 80s. And you know, so you know that culture, it kind of leads to sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? So you know, my dad, you know, he lived a good life, and you know, he passed, and I was in the studio, and Eric starts singing me the chorus to Your Salvation, and it's "You Died Too Young," and it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to actually do the song.
I bet you.
I was just getting choked up, man, because it was about my dad, but it was about Eric's friend, and then I just realized this isn't just about people that we love. This is about people that, like everyone, it seems like, knows someone who's died, or been deeply, you know, impacted by opiates and heroin and, you know, all the pharmaceutical drugs that are out there, and you know, doctors are prescribing them like candy, and people are using it, and it's hitting, you know, people young and old, teenagers, and you know, people in their, you know, 80s and 90s are using them, and everyone in between, and it was just such a socially impactful song that I really didn't know if I was going to be able to do it right. You know, I felt this pressure to like really deliver outside of my own feelings about it, but you know, to deliver in a way that other people could relate to as well. And luckily it all worked out. I mean, I sat on the song for a few days, and then it just flooded me. I got all these lyrical ideas, all these melodic ideas, and the following week the band joined up in the studio, and we put the final touches on the track, and voila, there it was. We did it. So, and
that's my favorite track too. So,
there you go.
You know, so congratulations on this release and stuff like that. Like when you get done, you know, when the release comes out and stuff, will you be touring? We're working with AFM Entertainment as our booking agent. And they've been looking into touring opportunities for us, and we've got some exciting things that we are, you know, nothing's finalized right now, but we're definitely looking at some really exciting tours with some really cool bands. Like, you know,
I can't let the cat out of the bag because nothing's like
I know
set in stone right now. But if any one of these opportunities that we're looking at come through, it's going to be a really exciting year. I mean, 2019 is just going to be huge. Cool. So the whole band is really excited, and we're going to do the record justice by going out there on a proper tour.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now where will people be able to purchase the album?
So the album's available everywhere digital music is sold. Primarily, iTunes is like a great place to just pre-order and download the record when it comes out on October 26th. Amazon, it can be streamed on Spotify, Apple Music, and you can also purchase the CD on our website, which is westfieldmassacreband.com. And I gotta say, this is hands down the coolest CD that I've ever been a part of. Like the packaging, the graphics, the artwork. It's got a 16-page full-color booklet that has all the lyrics, just like my favorite albums that I had when I was growing up.
Right.
And it's just an awesome physical package. So yeah, those are available on the website, and all your standard digital outlets. I mean, anywhere music is sold, it'll be available there. Salvation.
Cool. Has any word been talked about for vinyl?
You're not the first person to ask about vinyl. We are talking about it. I think we're probably going to do a limited vinyl run sometime in the first half of 2019. So that'll be something special that we'll probably offer on our website for fans to just get a really cool vinyl record, and we'll make sure to make a cool art package for it so you can see the artwork all big on the vinyl packaging. It'll be awesome.
Cool. Is there any merchandise available at this time?
Oh yeah, like we got a full line of T-shirts and flags and all kinds of cool stuff, and we actually bundle it up. So you get like a CD and a shirt and a flag, and there's like a discount when you buy a bundle.
Right.
And right now, for anyone who pre-orders the CD, it comes signed by every member in the band, and we're just doing everything that we can to like bring people into the fold and just create that connection with our fan base.
Cool. Now, what music did you listen to growing up?
Oh man, I'm going to date myself here. I mean, it's no joke. It's no secret. Guns N' Roses. I have a deep history with Guns N' Roses, and they were hands down my favorite band growing up. I saw them perform twice on the Use Your Illusion tour.
Right.
With Skid Row, which was another super favorite band of mine. Sebastian Bach was like my all-time favorite rock heavy metal singer.
Right.
And I owe it to him pretty much, like working on all those screams and high notes. It's like, oh my God, to hit that super high note in I Remember You, or Slave to the Grind.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can kind of hear some of that influence on the new Westfield Massacre album too. I owe a lot of that style to my early influences with Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, but obviously Metallica, and then I got into some heavier stuff like Sabotage, and I love Dream Theater, and I mean I was into metal and I was into rock, so yeah. I like a lot of the older bands too, like Queensryche. Operation Mindcrime is one of my all-time favorite records. And I could just keep going, but I love Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, of course the Beatles and the Doors. I got a deep love for classic rock like that.
Right.
And then of course Pantera.
Yeah.
Right. I love to frickin' crank it up and just I love that nuclear sounding metal as well. So a little bit of everything, but all rock.
Right.
Mostly. Just like I'm a rocker,
Cool.
Through and through.
Cool. Well, Seann, it was good talking to you. Westfield Massacre, the new album Salvation, coming out this month. Congratulations on the release. And would you like to say anything to the fans in conclusion?
Oh man, just come out and see us play live. That's where the band really shines. And pick up the music, add us on Spotify. Just do whatever you can to show your support. We're an independent band. We make this music because we love it. We love what we do, and if it weren't for your support, then we couldn't do what we do. So, we appreciate everything that you do. If it's a CD or it's a shirt or coming out to a show, every little bit, it all counts. So, thank you, and I hope to see you at the show.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Seann. Talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.